following, you know who I am now. Thank you for the introduction. So raise your hands if you use one or more AI tools daily. Yeah, of course. This is exactly what I expected. All of us are on the AI wagon. And the ChatGPT phenomenon has been insane. In India, 41% of adults claim using AI tools daily. In the US, it's about 20%, but it's still insane. We all use it for personal lives, personal tasks, automation, help us find content. But things get messy when you apply this to the workplace. So let's take an example here. We have Julie, who's a product manager at a startup. She loves using ChatGPT. This is her favorite tool. She do research, brainstorming in ChatGPT. And then she collaborated with Samir, who's a consultant. And of course, we all know that consultants tend to live in the Microsoft world, right? Samir preferred to use Microsoft Copilot to brainstorm, research, and write content. But turns out Julie and Samir are supposed to work on a project together here. So Julie will open ChatGPT to start her work. Samir will open Microsoft Copilot. And then Julie will prefer to use Google Gemini to create nice visuals for her work, ideate on different visual direction. Samir will do deep research using Anthropic Claude. And they basically all iterate on their favorite tool. And it's only when they are converging in, let's say, Google Slide, that they actually see what each other have been working on. And the problem with this is that we have two silos. AI currently is like very much solo player. We all work in isolation with our AI assistant, and it's only in those moments of convergence that we can share what we've done and iterate. And we think this is fundamentally broken because we miss a lot of opportunities to collaborate early on in the projects. And it gets worse. This was just two people. The problem scale, you all know this as product manager, the more stakeholders you have, the more messy it gets. And so if you multiply the amount of stakeholders by the amount of AI tools that each of them uses, it becomes a massive problem that basically slows down collaboration. And it even gets worse when you factor in the fact that we all collaborate with different types of stakeholders. We have designers that only swear by Figma. We have UXRs that live in Maze and Dovetail, product managers and full stack engineers in Jira, C-levels working in Excel, and PowerPoint. So it gets messy, and there is no really good way to just collaborate together efficiently with AI. And so today, AI assistants are built for solo user experiences, and they do this extremely well. But the question we've asked ourselves was, how do we build multiplayer AI that's driving and nurturing collaboration? And so the promises we've made last year at PMF 2024 were those following. We strongly believe that AI is able to facilitate collaboration. It levels the playing field. I'm not a good English writer. I'm a French native speaker. So by using these tools, I can actually write, proper English and share my thoughts in a professional manner with my colleagues. Product managers can now do more hands-on work alongside subject matter experts. All of us can generate vibe-coded prototypes in Lovable. We can generate high-fidelity mockups to just convey our vision and thoughts to our team more effectively. This better collaboration also simplifies communication. An artifact that's visual is worth 1,000 meetings. You can share your thoughts visually, align more quickly with stakeholders, and get going with your project. And ultimately, this enables better communication amongst stakeholders. In turn, this leads to streamlined workflows, because now we are able to let software adapt to the way we work, rather than having software forcing us to adapt to the way software is designed. What I mean by this is that sometime we will use something like Miro to brainstorm, sometime we'll do it on a whiteboard, physical whiteboard, sometime we'll just sketch on a notebook. But with AI, I can take a picture of the whiteboard, of my notebook, and then AI is able to understand this and bring it to my workspace where I can iterate further with my team. And in turn, all of this basically nurture better accelerated innovation. And one thing that's really a pain for application of AI, let's say healthcare, or critical application where AI hallucination is a big problem. If you are a doctor or a healthcare specialist, and an AI tool tells you that someone is 75% likely to die if they take this medication, if it's not true in an hallucination, that's a big problem, obviously. But in a world of creative application, when you were creating products, we try to innovate, we actually believe that AI hallucinations is not a bug, it's a feature. Because sometimes it helps you think outside of the box, and it helps you see your problem through new perspectives. So this was our promises that we made last year. 12 months later, what did we deliver? And this is where it's going to be fun. We're going to do a live demo if the internet gods permits, and I'm going to show what we mean by multiplayer AI collaboration. So first of all, Miro is now proud to be native multi-format. What this means is that our platform is meant to support work across the board and facilitate the collaboration between product managers, engineering stakeholders, designers. And so now you can actually just leave, you don't have to leave Miro to just generate tables to track product management, or generate slide decks to convey your thoughts to your leadership. You can actually do this all in one platform, and I'll show you in a minute how it looks like. And all of this is built on top of an AI-first canvas. And we love this concept of canvas as a prompt. We think this is the reason why Miro can create value for customers. What does this mean? Writing prompts is awkward, right? I think we can all agree to this. And AI today is garbage in, garbage out. So if you don't know how to write a good prompt, it's going to be tough to get good value out of AI. But if you can show AI what you're working on, then you don't even need to write a complex prompt anymore. You can let AI look at what you're doing, infer the purpose and the meaning and the goal, and then come up with some creative way to help you. So let's see how it looks in practice in Miro now. I have this idea for a drone food delivery app. I'm in my Miro board. I have a wireframe picture. I have different annotation. It's messy. I have drone arrows. It's just the way people like to work. And so now I can basically just go ahead and say, you know what? I want to use this canvas to help me move this forward. So let's say I want to just come up with delivery option for our drone delivery app. So instead of just having to write a complex prompt here, I can select what I have on my board and say, delivery options for this app. Pretty simple prompt. I didn't, for this app, what app are you talk about? I didn't need to tell what app I'm working on. AI can see my board, infer that, oh, this is a food delivery app. Oh yeah, there's this arrow talking about food delivery option. Okay, let me come up with some ideas for that specific purpose. So now I have some ideas. Maybe this is cool. I'll just I can iterate with this, shorten descriptions, and I can iterate just like this in my own kind of like side panels. And the good thing here is that I can also navigate between the different versions, so I don't lose track of where I left my work. And whenever I'm happy, I can actually just add it to the canvas. So now what I'll do is that I'll say, this is maybe the best delivery options we like. I can add them to my crappy wireframe, and then I can keep working. So now I contributed work, but also contributed more context in my canvas. So now if I select all of this, and I say, hey, Miro, I want a mobile, single screen mock-up of this, and I'll just say, do it. Do it is a pretty complex prompt, right? The point here is that because everything is on the canvas, the AI doesn't need me to explain what I want to do. Do it in this context means, okay, the person want to create a mobile screen prototype. It's a drone food delivery app. There's stuff drawn on the board. I'll just see what I can do with this as an AI. So no more complex prompt. I can just let AI figure it out. And something I forgot to mention is that this purple box that up here is a private stage to me. So it's kind of like Las Vegas. Whatever's happened in the purple box stays in the purple box. It's only when I'm happy with my result that I can actually add it to the canvas. So what that means is that if we're 20 people collaborating in Miro in real time, we don't want all this kind of like AI-generated assets to just come disturb the work. Each of us have our own little purple stage. We can get AI result there, iterate, and then once we're happy, we put it to the canvas. So check this out. So now we have this drone food delivery mobile screen. We basically have where we told it to put food items, it put food items. Where we told it to put delivery options, it went and just basically put the delivery options we had created, and he also removed this search box that we actually didn't want. So just like that, in a few seconds, we'd been able to just turn this very messy work in progress into an actual UI that we can actually just start iterating from. And so now that it's on my canvas, I can take this, modify it, and basically take it to where I want to be. And you can imagine how this will also translate to all the different other formats that Miro supports. So back to the slide deck. So this is Canvas as a prompt and how this can fuel artifact generation on the Miro board. Another thing we introduced this year, a few weeks ago, is something we call sidekicks. And so sidekicks is a way to take what I just showed you and customize it even further to certain purposes. So sidekicks enables me to create customizable AI agents for my job to be done. And the value here, if we look at the example we had before, is that I can pick the models I want. If I'm an OpenAI fan, I can tell, hey, I want to create my sidekicks in Miro that only use OpenAI models, or Anthropic models, or Gemini models. So I can just tailor my own experience to what I'm used to in the same environment that my colleagues are working on. I can also connect my knowledge, because just like we've seen before with context, the canvas, the knowledge sometimes is critical for good AI output. My business have their own OKR and their own goals and challenges and so on. So now I can connect my own company data through Glean or through Amazon Q to make sure that whatever AI I create for me is tailored to our organization needs. So let me show you what sidekicks can do for us in Miro. So if I click there, we'll go into you can see that there is those sidekicks, so agents for different area, meetings and workshops, ideation and brainstorming, warframing and prototyping. But I think it's way more fun to create our own. So I'll go ahead and create, and I'll say, I want this to be slide deck assistant. And I will tell it, you are a slide presentation expert, and you will help users improve their presentations for sharing tech products and vision. You also love to insert dad jokes in your work. Be concise and clear. And so, pretty simple prompt. I can improve it with AI if I'm really uncomfortable with my prompt skills. I can, just like I said before, I can select the model I want to use this for. Again, if you are like an advanced user, maybe you're like, I only use, let's say, Claude because I trust Claude or for whatever reason. And you can also attach files. So, for example, here, I've taken some tech dad jokes blog post online, and I'll just give our agent this as context, as knowledge. So I'll hit create, and in a few seconds, we'll be able to work with our slide deck assistant. And I don't want to share this with the Miroverse just yet. I'll keep it to myself. There we go. So now we have this sidekicks here, our slide deck assistant, and I'll ask it, what do you think? By just give it access to my presentation. And so now I have this very tailored, customized agents that I can work with regardless of what I'm trying to do. Like ChatGPT is not, is amazing, but you need to use GPTs if you want to do some very specific things. Now you can actually take the power of GPT or Anthropic and then create your own customized agent. So it tells me, looking at your presentation on collaborative AI, I can see you've put together some comprehensive deck. Yeah, it's giving me some compliments. And now it's actually basically generating some things to basically share its thoughts with me. Let me create some improved slides with my dad jokes flair to help make your tech product vision even more engaging. I can't wait to see that. We'll give it a few seconds. Actually, we'll do something else. What I'll do, I'll discard this, and I'll say, create a diagram to showcase your thoughts process. And so this is meant, this is a slide deck assistant. So I would expect that it can tell me how it makes decision to basically provide feedback on decks. So let's see what it come back with. And yeah, it's nerve-wracking to do live demos, isn't it? Especially when the internet is not on your side. But this is fun. We want to show you the real thing, not some demo videos. So we'll wait a few more seconds, and then hopefully our slide deck assistant will have show us some cool diagram on how it basically judged our presentations. And by the way, this is a beta. We've launched this a few weeks ago. And so I'll show you later how you can sign up if you want to use this in your organization. Common sidekicks. I'll give it 10 more seconds. Otherwise, we'll need to move somewhere else for the sake of time. Okay, cool. So you created like a full slide, multiplayer AI for collaboration with different things. You can see like how it thinks about like my presentation. And so yeah, I basically be able to just generate this entire thing where it basically just summarize what I can do better, what I can improve, and then problems and so on. So cool. We'll discard this and we'll go back to the presentation. And the good thing is that as a team, you can actually create these sidekicks just like I did, but you can also share them with your team. So you don't. Once you create something that's really valuable, you can share it with the team, and then everybody can benefit from the the things you've created. But this is still very much like a solo experience. Earlier today, we talked about how every one of us use our own favorite AI assistant, but it's not collaborative. And so even though here we use our own solo AI assistant, we still contribute to the same common workspace, but we wanted to create something even more collaborative. And this is when Flow comes into play. So Flow is a way to just visually collaborate on AI-created outputs. So let me show you how it looks right away. So for example here, I have this empty frame, and what I'll do is that I'll just provide some stickies. So Switzerland, product, management, if I can spell management properly, and then let's say we're going to conference. And so now I can actually create a flow and connect this frame to anything. So I can actually just create a new output just from this frame. For example, here I'll say, come up with a conference concept for these keywords. I can, just like before, select the model I want to use this for. I can search the web or connect it to my own knowledge. And I can take this further. I can connect this to another node and say, create a logo for this. But I can also branch out and create some other artifacts here. I can connect to create a prototype, a diagram, and so on. But let's just run this simple flow, and then I'll show you some more complex workflow as well. So now I've connected something. You can see that this frame is basically fed into this document generation, which is then going to be fed into this image generation. And you can imagine you can create very complex workflow here where you can actually automate work, basically. And the idea here is that all of us, if we're 20 people on the board, we can all see the flow in real time. We can all interact with the different nodes and basically collaborate on, let's say, an AI-powered workflow. If we want to just automate the way we create visuals for a marketing campaign, or automate the way we create different design proposal for, let's say, a mobile app that we're trying to launch. So Node came up with a concept, the Alpine Product Summit. Conference overview, core concepts, pillars, format and experience, unique value proposition, target audience, product managers, directors, VPs. And so the next node is going to then come up with a logo for our new conference. And while this is generating, you can see here that we also have like flows that are pre-built. So whenever you create a flow as a team, you can then save it as a template and then share it across the org. So if you've created an amazing flow to automate, feedback gathering from your customer and take, let's say a database of customer feedback and turn it into a PRD, you can then save this template and share with your team to just, get even more value from this AI-powered workflow. While this is generating, I will show you another example here where we have created a much more complex workflow where we have a few keywords, music streaming, heavy music, live concerts. We have a wireframe, and then we basically have a node here that's given the keywords and the wireframe images, generate a web UI interface for this product. And this basically created a full web page, which, by the way, is interactive with our new concept. And then we have another node that basically says, redesign this desktop screen for mobile. Adjust the layout to fit a smaller screen resolution. And just like that, we've been able to just create like a concept for mobile that's basically built on top of the web UI. And here, we have another step of the flow that's basically create a project management table that we can use to track the implementation of this app. And this entire table is fully interactive, and you can then use it for product management, of project management rather. So all of this basically can be then a way to automate workflows across the board, because now if I just modify these 4 stickies, the entire rest of the generation will basically adapt to the input. And we got a new logo here, I can see. Alpine Product Summit, Switzerland. Not bad, actually. Any designers in the room that can judge? Cool. And I'll show another example, which I think is pretty cool, where you can use this to create like marketing visuals. So here we have a product. We have different style references, a location reference, and then AI basically just combining all these different inputs to create like a new visual for our product. So I can take all of this, move it away, and we do something very Swiss. We'll generate a new marketing visual for the Appenzeller cheese. We want to insert a cow, follow these color references, have the Swiss flag somewhere, and then we want this on the beach, because why not? Who doesn't want to eat cheese on the beach? And we'll see what's going to be generated. Images are slow to load on the slow internet. So let's see what comes out of this. Let's go back to the presentation while this is generating, and then we can get back to this for the sake of time. So let me go back here where we left it. So this is basically flow, how you can actually just all together collaborate on AI-powered creative artifact generation. And so there's also something else that we're pretty happy about, is that we've launched our own model context protocol, so MCP. What MCP enables you is to connect Miro with your dev tools. So if your developer is already using AI-assisted coding, which most developers do these days, you can then tap into Miro as a source of context for better code generation. So the idea here is that you're a developer, you work in Cursor, and you can tell, hey, Miro, give me context for this project. Give me all the PRD that you might think is relevant, the prototypes, diagram, and then this will feed back into Cursor, and then basically feed better, high-quality code generation for that specific project. And so the idea here is that the team can collaborate in Miro, create all the artifacts early on, and then developers can take this as better context to streamline development of the final product. And so while I talk about this, let's see if we got an AI-generated ads for, yes, there you go, look at that. So we have a new ads for Appenzeller on the beach with a beautiful cow. So yeah, you can imagine how you can take this further. You can actually then hook this up to, let's say, a diagram generator or a table or whatever you think you need to basically take that marketing project to life. All right, let's go back to the slide deck. So we talk about MCP, we talk about, and so yeah, that's the claim here is that, as we discussed earlier, AI assistants today are built for solo experiences. And so everybody has preferences on what tool is great for their job to be done. And honestly, ChatGPT is amazing at certain things, but it's not that great at other things. Cloud is better at other things. And so the idea here is that we combine all of this to support human AI collaboration. All of us can actually find a neutral ground on top of which to collaborate. Actually, no pun intended, but sometimes we call this like a Switzerland strategy, where we want to be neutral and basically enable the customer to just use the model that they find best for their use cases. And so the vision that we have here is that AI is not here to replace any of us. It's here to augment the team intelligence. People collaborate on the Miro board to drive project from discovery all the way to delivery, and then AI can enhance its experience, accelerate the process, and ultimately help teams ship better products faster. So the vision that we have is that whenever you use Miro as a place to collaborate on products, you no longer just collaborate with your colleagues, you also collaborate with those AI agents that can come, assist you in real time, and help your team get the most of your time. So 12 months later, after the promises we've made at the Product Management Festival last year, we've launched an AI-first canvas with this strong canvas as a prompt base to support format generation. We've launched Sidekicks, which is the customizable AI agents on the canvas that you've seen before, Flows to support better visual collaboration, and then an MCP server to put glue between the world where people will brainstorm, ideate, and define the project, and then developers that are then gonna take this to production and ship final products. All of this is in public beta today, so if you haven't played with it already, you can actually sign up for early access and then be amongst the first to just use it in your day-to-day work. And then one other thing I want to add before we open for Q&A is that my colleagues will be back in Zurich on November 25th. And so if you want to learn how our customers are already using this in production to accelerate innovation, sign up, it's free, it's going to be fun, and then you're going to get the chance to see how customers actually use this in practice. Thank you so much.